Hey guys, it's Humming Rush. Today we're going to be playing a live game in the T-54 Lightweight. This is one of the most interesting light tanks in the game to play because it actually has some sort of armor. So in practice, it's basically a knife fighter type of tank. What you want to do is in a vehicle like this is you want to set up crossfires with enemy vehicles, shoot them in the side as they're not looking at you, and make those types of plays. So that's going to be the objective. Now we're on a map. This map's Abbey. So the problem with Abbey is that there's not a whole lot of opportunities to create crossfires, especially if you're playing aggressively, because there's a corridor right here and there's a corridor right here. So there's very few opportunities for flanking on like the side that matters. It's the same thing on the 9 lines. So what I like to do, especially when there's 3 arty like this, is I like to pop into the middle and shoot at anyone who's rushing into the mid, and then I'll fall back and reevaluate things. So that's in keeping with the T-54 Lightweight's playstyle. What you want to do is you want to take a position, shoot at someone, fall back, and then watch to see how the game progresses. So, how did the tank get stuck there? Regardless, I'm going to sit here. I don't know if this will work with my 200 ping. I guess we'll find out, though. This might be acceptable. Looks like no one's going mid. Oh, there they are. Bit slow, eh? I'll have to shoot at this guy's lower plate. There we go. That tank's very strong. Alright, so this is where you'd fall back, right? Because the T-54 Lightweight's only got 1300 HP. If I got hit by Artie, or even if an Artie missed me, you know, he'll still stun me, and it's very common for Artie to miss you and hit you for 500 in this vehicle. So we are not taking that chance. Now, what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to look at my map, because it's very important in a light tank, which is effectively a support vehicle, to notice where the hell your teammates are. So we've got an IS, that's a tank right there, I was looking at my map. We've got an IS-7 right here, a 5100. This is bad. This is not good. All of our heavy tank armor is either in the middle or at B2. Like, that's not very good. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to... I want to play the 2 line. I want our team to win the 2 line because they've won the mid, and retaking the mid is very difficult in the beginning of the game. So what I want to do is I want to support this side, and hopefully... Well, this is going to be a challenge because, like I said, we're not going to be able to create a crossfire in this type of instance. So hopefully this E3 gets into the fight and like helps us out. Until then, I'm not going to be willing to die for this side because it's just not to my advantage. I can be more useful endgame than I can be dead at the beginning of the game. So that's the basic plan. Looks like that SU is going to die, which is just the way it is. And then with this 5100 falling back, there's a very high probability that this Pershing is going to push into here, and that's when I might be able to create some sort of crossfire. So I'm just being patient here, waiting for the Pershing to try to flank the 5100. This is when I would be impatient. But eventually it's going to happen. This Pershing, he's taking his bloody time though. Fuck. There's nothing I can do because if I were to fight these guys, I'd be fighting them head on, and that does not work. Looks like this 49's YOLOing, so I can help this E3, and that's kind of the utility in setting up a trap like this. Now, this E3 is a one-shot to the E4. If the E4 rolls slightly above average... Yeah, these aren't going to pen. Did the E4 just fire? Maybe I can get one more shot, and then we're going to have to run away. There we go. And so this E3 is still alive, which is amazing. It looks like the E4 just fired. I can tell that by that kill feed there. And this is where I'd start to run away because it's me against 5 tanks, and we're not going to win that. So this is where the speed of a light tank comes into play. The next question is, where do you run away to on a map like this to once again create a situation where you can shoot at people in the sides? Well, on this map, it's very easy to do that from the mid, because what happens is enemies push up the A line and the B line, and then you can actually get side shots on them as they're doing that from the mid. So what I can do is I can position myself in the middle of the map, and we're going to be just trying to do as much damage as we possibly can, because, well, we're 3 tanks down, and they're basically full HP. The entire enemy team is. So we're in the mid. That's good. Now, they've got so much HP. How do you make this work? There you go. There's the IS-3. I'm more concerned... this guy's going to spot me. Shit. This guy didn't spot me, but I'm not going to risk getting spotted just to shoot at the 2 and 5B who's been sitting in base all game. So it's not worth my HP to shoot at someone who's AFK. He's not literally AFK, but you know what I mean. He's not being useful, so I'd much rather deal with the people pushing into our base and not lose HP than risk losing HP and shoot at the 2 and 5B. So this is where opportunities to get damage will start to pop up. For example, on this Pershing, if this damn... There we go, perfect. We get a shot into this guy. It bounces because the Pershing side armor is very strong. I'm gonna knock this over. Oh, shit. How should I deal with this? Here we go. These guys are really slow. I don't understand the plays they're making, but I don't think they do either. Here I would want to focus down this WZ, right? Because he's the TD, he's going to have the highest DPM, so by focusing him down, I might be able to give him, my friend, a hand here. How did the STA die? Okay. This is not going to go well. So where do I go to get the most out of this situation? Well, to me it looks like there's a lone T2065 right here. Okay, can shoot at him. The gun depression's a bit of a problem, but that's fine. And I would almost be okay with trading DPM with this guy, simply because the game's almost over. So what I'm going to do is we are trading DPM with him. I'm going to get flanked by this cunt. This guy's the autoloader, so I just put a shot into him, and that's the game. I mean, that was a close one, right? On to the next. I thought I played it reasonably well, considering the scores. We lost every single flank in the game, so there's not much you can do in a light tank in that situation, other than trying to do, like, 2K, 1800, 1600, that type of game. Slightly above your HP should be your goal in this type of game. Alright, so that's one of those games that most people won't show you, but there you go. 1784 damage. I came second on the team for damage. Second also for XP. I don't know how the RHM beat me, but he did. Congrats to him. Basically, no one on their team did their hit points, apart from myself and the STRV, as far as I can tell. IS7 did 0. Most Arty didn't even do their hit points, which is impressive. Good. I'm pretty sure the M53's HP is 450, but, you know, on to the next. That type of game happens. 1800 in a situation where 13 players didn't do their HP is pretty okay. I'm okay with that result. All right, so for this one, Live Oaks, it's a standard game. Now, Live Oaks is one of those maps where it's very hard to get early damage. It's not common to be able to get a whole lot of early damage on like some other maps where you can get 3 shots. On Live Oaks, you can really only get 1 at most. If you go south, it's going to be even harder, because what happens in the south for you to get early damage, well, this is the way the south flank works for light tanks. What you want to do in a light tank is you want to take a position where you shoot at someone who's already driving into position, so who's not safe yet. And you can't do that in the south because it's pretty much blocked off. This railroad blocks off the driving locations for the enemy, so for you to shoot at them, you almost have to get all the way up to here, which the timing doesn't work. You're only so fast, and they're pretty quick too. So if they have a bad shot or something going 0 line, you're not going to get shot. So what I prefer to do is I prefer to shoot at people who are in the city, because generally slower tanks go to the city. That's where you can get shots on people. And so what you can do, there's a couple locations you can do this, and I'm actually going to try a brand new one because, well, it looks like there's an alleyway to get shots right through here. And so that's what we're going to work on. We'll see if that works, and it looks like I should kind of have some sort of support. We'll see if that plays out. Hopefully the mouse is more aggressive than he appears, because that thing's pretty slow. So what I've done is I've knocked over all this rubble here. I want to get shots on any heavies who are driving into location, and I've actually played this position before. What it allows you to do is it lets you get shots on people who cross right here, and so that's exactly what I'm going to wait for. I'm going to zoom out because a tank might be right here and I want to be able to react to him quickly, but if not, I can just shoot at whoever goes here. And by the looks of it, they aren't sending anyone to the city, right? I'm getting the eyes on the city. We know that no one's come to the city yet, and if you look at the map, T57 heavy, a couple other heavies down in the eastern side of the map, which kind of implies that no one's here. So the next question is, how do you proceed when you've won a flank without trying? Well, what a lot of people will do is they will just push through. The reality is they've got 4 TDs, so they're going to have tanks that are sitting right here and all that shit that I don't want to be fighting against in a light tank, because all it takes is a grill to YOLO you and then 2-shot you to get you killed. So what I'm going to do instead of pushing through the flank that we've won, I'm going to fall back and I'm going to look for shots on people that give me shots in them. So for example, this RU looks like I'll have shots in him. As the AMX pokes up on the ridge over the tracks, I will also have shots in that guy. And I'm just going to be chasing down this RU because I want to get him dead, and I want to help out with this southern flank as it is right now. So that's going to be the goal. This is going to be hard though, because their entire team is here. So how do you do this without killing yourself? I want to be useful, but I don't want to get myself killed. So what I think I can do is I can pop up to where this convoy is. Someone's spamming the map on me. Dude, I've been playing the game. What? I didn't know you could knock those over. Anyways, I'm going to go to this position and we're going to shoot at these guys right here because they're going to be distracted. They're going to be YOLOing. These guys are going to come in. And so what I want to do is I want to get shots while I can, and then we're going to have to fall back. I do notice that this PTA is stock. I'm making sure that guy doesn't shoot at me. He did shoot at me, so it is what it is. And this is where I would probably start to fall back because this guy, well, look, these guys are going to die, and I don't want to get shot by that AMX. So maybe I can get one more shot. Being a bit greedy here. I don't want to get hit by that AMX because if I get shot by him once again, I will end up, how do you say it? As a 2-shot pretty much, or a 1-shot for the entire enemy team. So maybe, well, look at this. This is not going to work out. It's a 51-20. Put a shot into him, it bounces, which is fine. He puts a shot in my direction. This is where you'd want to start. This guy needs to fall back. It's too late. This convoy's going to die. This guy's focusing me down. There we go, dodge his shot. I'm going to be running away. So the problem is that we've got a lot of HP. Our entire HP is up here. And so when your HP is sort of on the wrong side of the map, because they're just kind of sitting there, they're not capping. You can't cap out on this map because cap's in the middle of an open field. You need to be with them. So you need to drive to where you have teammates support, especially in a light tank. Right now I'm at 1300 spotting. I've done 670 damage. The goal is going to be to increase my spotting damage from here because if the mouse gets on cap, you know, we're going to need eyes on whoever's trying to reset. And that's when I can start being useful. But it doesn't look like the mouse is really getting on cap, is he? Jesus, this tank is so inaccurate. How am I supposed to make this work? I have to get close to them? That's not going to happen. Okay. God damn. They've just got so much HP. So what's going to happen is the enemy team is going to be able to drive into me. I can't spot for anyone because my entire team has sort of just disintegrated, you know? So I can spot for Artie, and you can see I did spot for Artie right there. But at this point in time, it's like I'm going to have to start running away because the enemy is just going to be able to drive into me and there's no one to shoot at them. So I am in a position to spot them, but I'm spotting for no one on my team right now. We've got a 2 and 5B and a mouse. All of our tier 10 tanks are, well, basically on the cap circle, which is in the middle of an open field, which is not a good long-term strategy. So we're probably not going to do so well here. So what I want to do is this 430 is chasing me, which is fine. I get shot. I don't want to die to this 430 now because I have a way less HP. I need to play with my mouse, who is still full HP. Okay, this is just the reality of light tanks, in my opinion. How do you get acceptable damage out of a result like this? Because you're not pulling this back, right? I would like to see if I can play with my mouse and get him and to support me, and I want to be able to support him. That's kind of like the plan. We'll see if that works out. The 430 is going to be flanking us in a sec here. So, you know, if we can kill this WT if he pokes, that would be great. I don't care if they're capping out. Like, there's nothing I can do about it. Put a shot. Okay, why is he... Fucking teammates, man. I'm gonna die here. I think that guy low-rolled, which is really lucky, so I want him... Okay. This is like the plight of light tanks, man. Okay, I did 2k swatting, I did 1600 damage. Once again, the game wasn't close. I'm gonna call it here because this is just shitty teams, and my advice for people who are playing with shitty teams is simply to stop playing when it happens. This is just one of those other games where all of our tier 10s went to a side with no vehicles that were on it, and then they continued to push through and died while pushing through, because when you push into TDs as a mouse, you're gonna die. Look, this guy had 7,000 damage. That's not because he had a mouse push into him, so of course he's going to get 7k. So, you know, no one did 3k in this game, which is 3k is a high score, but a lot of people didn't do their HP. You know, it's just the way the game works sometimes. So our tier 10s, anyways, that's the way it is. My advice, if you're in situations like this where your teams aren't going well, in World of Tanks, it's one of those situations where you do want to take responsibility for games that aren't going well, but you also have to be realistic about it. Because, for example, the T54 lightweight, I don't know, I've played 3 games today and won 0, or I've played 4 games and I've won 1 of them. So it's very common for that type of thing to happen. You just kind of have to take a break, if games aren't going well for you, try another tank, maybe stop playing the game for an hour or whatever and go on to the next. And so that's what I'm going to do to demonstrate my point, and I'm going to call the video here. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope to see you for the next video, and yeah, bye for now.